Welcome back to episode 3 of our Matty D versus Ailey C video essay challenge. We have a lot for you today. We are going to look at the results of prompt number 1. We are going to look at the videos that we made for prompt number 2, and then we will reveal prompt number 3 for our next video. So, before we get into it, I wanted to touch on, maybe give a little teaser as to how we each interpreted this prompt. Alrighty, well, I will go ahead. So, this time around, the question was why humans will always surpass AI. There's a lot of different ways we could go about this, but the thesis of my argument was essentially we made it. We made it for our own gain, and it is a tool. At the end of the day, it is a human creation, and just because it is advanced, just because it can be smarter, that doesn't mean it's not a tool. At the end of the day, what about you, Matt?
That's amazing. So great minds think alike. That was definitely my approach as well. Is that there's a lot of fear regarding AI, which I
Hmm.
understand. I have a fear of it. It's sabotaging portions of my business. And so I feel like I have a healthy fear of it in terms of being even as a producer, anytime there's a threat or a competition, you need to figure out, okay, am I going to do counter programming or am I going to take on this threat head on and we're just going to compete with similar programming and I'm going to, as a producer, arrange for that programming to be different and compelling. So for me, I feel like I'm doing some counter programming for AI against AI
Hmm.
right now. So I think that's going to be a theme of my video. And also, these have become I'm not proud of my stats from the first reveal, and I feel like right now, I feel like this is therapeutic for me to where I am kind of taking this project in like a selfish way because I feel like it's like I don't know. I'm curious your thoughts on this. Like, is a video essay supposed to be a video diary, or is it supposed to be an editorial, or a combination of both? Because right now, I feel like I'm almost kind of like flushing some like
Hmm.
negative thoughts that I have about this AI culture and everything right now, and I feel like it's a little self-serving and it's kind of become a little bit of my diary. So
Hmm.
I'm hoping to kind of get to a more positive place with it right now because especially with the first one I felt like watching it super I felt like I was super preachy, but in this episode 2, it'll also be a little bit more of a personal diary and things that I'm seeing on a day-to-day basis. So
I'm excited to see what you'll think about this new prompt then, because I know it. You don't. Yeah, I like that interpretation. It has kind of become a good venting sesh, especially these past couple themes that we've had. It's definitely something that touches on us personally as creatives and professionally. So I definitely get that. It has become therapeutic in a surprising way that I wasn't expecting. But on the less therapeutic end of things, let's get into the numbers. Once again, I will remind us of what stats we focused on for YouTube Shorts. Number 1 is the percentage of viewers who stayed to watch. This is essentially just showing you how engaging the first few moments of your video are, how well you're hooking people in the first moments of your video. The next metric, I'll just go through the metrics real quick and then I'll put my numbers in, is the number of unique viewers, basically just the number of different eyeballs that were on your video. And this is pretty good to help us understand, like, maybe how much people are watching, because some people, they will watch it multiple times. This is just a pretty standard metric for any kind of video. Next is our like to dislike ratio. This is just telling you how much people are engaging and how much they like it. Although everyone's entitled to their opinion, so this isn't the core metric that we're working on. This is just something we throw in there for a full comprehensive view. Other one is total number of views on the video. So this is just how many eyeballs, how many times the video is viewed. And then the average view duration, or there's a couple different ways that they quantify this metric. They either do it in the percentage of people remaining at the 30-second mark or average duration for the video. Okay, my results for prompt one, a stayed to watch percentage of 53.9%. So a little over half the people who swiped into my video decided to watch. 143 unique viewers, 143 different people looking at my video. A like to dislike ratio of 80%, 4 to 1. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Sometimes people just dislike to dislike, you know? And then I had a total view count of 293. And then 42% of viewers were still watching my video at the 30-second mark. And then the average duration for viewing the video was 33 seconds. This kind of gives us a general idea of how people liked our video, how engaging it was, what they thought about it, if they wanted to stay along with the video.
You kicked my ass. Let's not bury the lead. You kicked my ass, episode one. So tip of the cap to
Thank
you,
you. Thank you.
and great job with that. I only had 20 views total, so I don't some of the metrics I'm not even privy to because YouTube doesn't even
Hmm.
produce some of the metrics um when it's that few
Hmm.
amount of views. So um yeah, I mean I obviously I need to do a lot better. I think my hooks are an issue right now. And so I don't think honestly I don't think that's going to improve here with this episode two as I'm learning about my stats. Um but let me so let me share my screen here for the purposes of having some pathetic B-roll. This is another nice serving of humble pie for Mr. Matty D.
I
Here it
think I
is.
have an unfair advantage in this game, to be fair.
Uh, all right, so here it is. So 20 views,
Hmm.
314% impressions, zero impressions with the click-through rate. So yeah,
Also had a
so
zero. I also had an impressions click through rate of 0.
so I guess this is a great baseline because
Hmm.
I can't do much worse.
I will say I've had a lot more practice in the social media short form game. I think you're doing great. I liked your video.
Dang, well, thank you very much.
YouTube Shorts is a different demographic from other short form reels, like short form video content.
Yeah, this is kind of my first foray into like vertical first,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. Like
Yes.
normally what we produce is, you know, widescreen
Hmm.
4K quality, and then we're more or less kind of cropping those videos into vertical, but I'm trying to produce more of the essays, so it's vertical first or
Hmm.
vertical native, I guess, as the kids say.
Short form reels, it's a great way to just get way more eyes quickly than you normally would, but you have to know the trick. Oh my gosh, you have to know the tips and tricks. You have to know the format, the hook people like. A lot of it is trial and error. Yes. All right. Next on our agenda, we are going to, now that we've looked at all our analytics, we are going to watch the videos that we have created for this week. From the videos we are about to watch, the theme was why humans will always outshine AI. And this was the theme presented by Matt. And then we did have of course, some parameters to work within. We needed to include a close up photo. The music track needed to be categorized, labeled, coming up in search terms under triumphant, or epic. We also needed to include a stock video of a robot, right, being the term. We also needed a handwritten page. This was a pretty unique one that I like that it in. We could also choose from the over 10 years of Matty D Media video archives for B-roll, and we needed to have one or two clips from that. So those were all the little parameters, the little bullet points we had for our video about AI. And without further ado, we will react to these videos.
To some, AI is a nifty new tool. To others, it's an innovative form of entertainment. To some, it's a cash cow. But to most, AI is a threat to our way of life. Data centers threaten entire communities with their environmental devastation and noise pollution. But the most frightening threat of all is that of being replaced altogether. In times like these of economic uncertainty and fears of making ourselves obsolete, we have to remind ourselves why humanity will always surpass AI. Before humans even existed, our evolutionary ancestors used tools, and this proved to be an evolutionary advantage, a huge one. So much so that we never stopped developing new tools to make our lives better. No amount of technological advancement will take away the fact that AI is a tool humans wield. AI does not dream, AI cannot imagine or create new original ideas. It can only combine fragments of what humans have already created. No matter how effective AI is at completing a task, it doesn't change the fact that it requires a human to initiate the task. And this is one of many reasons why humanity will always surpass AI.
That was awesome.
Yay, thank
That
you.
was better than the first one. I can't really put my finger on why.
Mm,
Um I feel like that one was better than the first one. Um I feel like that one your voice was more commanding.
yeah.
I feel like that was more you're hosting the video with your ideas, whereas the other one I felt like was a little bit more of a compilation of like
Hmm.
you talked about your reactions to different documentaries, but like I feel like the focus was more about the documentary and less about your opinion of them. Whereas this one was like you were like forcefully in command of of your thesis. So I really enjoyed that.
Thank you. I've found recently that it's a lot easier to be animated, to be yourself on camera when you're just speaking from your thoughts, from your opinions, as opposed to trying to hit all the different bases that you want to, you know?
Now, I need to so you tapped into the Matty D Media archives for some of the B-roll, and I just want to put my photographic memory to the test. So
Yes.
this is B-roll anywhere from the last 11 years, but I am
Hmm.
pretty sure one of them was the like KU biotechnology lab where I shot some B-roll footage with that lab technician from Australia. So that was the one of the shots, right?
Yep.
And then the other one was that Ottawa, Kansas for Main
Yeah.
Street. So that drone shot is one of the banes of my business operation because that that is one that I think that's one of two local businesses that completely ghosted us like after we started capturing footage. So like I'm happy to see that you used some of the footage because I actually didn't capture that drone shot myself and it wasn't our good friend and partner Eric. I had to subcontract that to somebody in Ottawa as we were gonna do like the whole. I know I'm digressing, but it's just so funny that you use
Hmm.
that piece of footage because it's like we paid that drone videographer. Meantime, the client didn't pay their deposit and like completely ghosted us after we captured all this footage. We actually captured footage. We got that drone shot, and then we did like a virtual tour inside their dental office and they completely ghosted us and never paid the bill. And I will not name names right now, but um, I almost dropped a nasty Google review on that business, but I decided to behave myself
Be the bigger
anyway.
person.
Anyway,
That's such a funny
sorry to go down that
story.
rabbit hole, but that
No,
was so
you're
funny.
good.
But yeah,
Oh my
that B-roll was
gosh.
probably from like 6 or 7 years ago. So
I'm like surprised, but also not surprised that you were able to pick out the footage.
yeah.
That's impressive, though.
It's funny though,
Okay.
as an editor, you have the advantage of seeing the shots over and over and
Hmm.
over and over
Hmm.
again. Anyway,
Absolutely.
anyway. Well, we promoted how this series would get into the mind of a video editor, so that was probably a lot more
Yes.
information than anyone ever wanted. Here we go. All right, you ready for my short? So
Yes.
let's each just publish these. Let's publish these within the hour from when the Zoom
Okay.
call ends. Let's publish them, and then we'll let the race begin. So this is still unlisted at the moment, but you should be able to see it. I'm sending it in the chat right now. When the first wheel was revealed, humans could instantly navigate more. When the first oars pushed from shores, were they wielded as weapons or used to explore? Our tools used to move can unite us or push us further apart. Human good outshines utility when empathy remains the core art. When we were industrial revolutionized, we fed poison to each other. Scenes of war still plague our children, which should concern any father or mother. I don't fear the tool, I'm afraid of how we treat each other and how we devalue our peers. It's as if we've forgotten whose wisdom those machines have been learning for all of these years.
That was great.
Thank you very
The
much.
I wasn't expecting to see the jungle by Upton Sinclair in there. It's a great pick though. It was
Yeah,
really good. I liked I was curious what you would do for the handwritten page prompt. But yeah, that was great. Yeah, you did have a similar like premise as me that, it is a tool, but you did it in a much more like existential way. You know what I mean? Where you say like I'm not afraid of the tool. I'm afraid of how we treat each other. That was great. I really liked that.
thank you. Yeah, so I was actually I was gonna sketch something myself, but
Hmm.
my backup plan was a drawing that one of our two boys did in school, and it
Hmm.
was like this like I'm a very patriotic person. I support the military, but at the same time, you know, I can be anti-war, of
Hmm.
course. So I remember, like, I saw this drawing that my one of my boys did, and it's like this whole war scene with Iran, who he confused. He thought that Iran is like the Nazis currently. So
Oh,
he's a child. I mean,
yeah.
confused about what's going on in the world,
Me and adults are
like
confused
a
about
lot
what's going
like a
on.
lot of us are, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why I chose that was because of artificial intelligence playing a role in this war with drone strikes, and I think
Hmm.
it's a really slippery slope. And also, it reminded me of my childhood growing up in the late 80s and early 90s and having GI Joes and being rah-rah about the army and
Hmm.
supporting our soldiers, which I do. However, it's a little haunting looking back at my childhood and like even VHS tapes that I transfer. I see how, like in the early 90s, I was talking about fighting against the terrorists and
Hmm.
preparing for attack against terrorists and terrorism. It's almost
Yes.
like we were conditioned to fear this attack. And then of course on 9/11 it happened and it's just a haunting thing to look back at. And so when I saw that drawing from my son about this whole war scene and what's happening US versus Iran, it was just it just kind of hurt my soul as a human
It's
being
sad because
and
it's
as a father.
cyclical. It's the kind of thing that we hope wouldn't be cyclical, but it is. I was born in January 2002. So I, the experience you were talking about, or us being constantly like feeling we're attacked from the outside is something I grew up with for sure. That was a beautiful way you integrated that into your video, though. I really like that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I just tried to juxtapose like the best case scenarios and the worst case scenarios. Like
Hmm.
the close-up ingredient that I chose was the close-up of the Earth in the astronaut's visor. And then you
Hmm.
zoom out
Oh
and
yeah.
you zoom out and you see that it's an astronaut. And because I'm getting chills as I'm talking about this. Like as a father right now, just watching world events, it's like it's so surreal that you have something so inspirational and life, it could be a life-changing event seeing Artemis 2 circle the
Hmm.
moon with your kids, and we watched that live as a family, and like having such inspiring awe-inspiring events like that happen, and juxtapose that to, there's not just one war, there are several wars right now on the world
Hmm.
stage. So it's a lot right now. So anyway, yeah, just trying to, like I said, it's a little bit of a
Hmm.
video diary right now. So just kind of a mashup of world events and my experiences as a dad and small business
Hmm.
owner.
Now, without further ado, we present the prompt, the challenge for this week. So, our theme, as is quite fitting with what we've been discussing today, is hardship and creativity. Now, there are many, many, many synonyms we could use for these words. We could use difficulty, suffering, oppression. We could use art, influence. You can interpret these words however you want, but these are the core ideas. This slide is talking about two concepts. So we, in your video, I would like you to discuss something within this theme that is real to you, personal experience and how this has affected you, and then something real to the world, something that happened in the world and how that has panned out, however you interpret that. So these are concepts. This doesn't mean like video or anything. This is just what you discuss. All right. Now, I would also like inclusion or reference to three different artistic mediums. This can be a verbal or visual reference. So, in my AI video, I put in a clip about pottery, a clip with pottery that would count. I'm talking about writing, talking about the Mona Lisa, anything like that, as long as you're referencing three different artistic mediums.
So the jungle would
Yeah.
qualify?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a novel. Yeah. Literature also qualifies. Um, Nonfiction's kind of cross, like, that gets a little blurry. But I think literature, music, drawing, even oration, poetry, anything like that, any reference to that, even video editing, even videography, well, the world is your oyster. There are so many things we could reference. Next, we have one homemade point of view shot. A lot of people like to misinterpret the POV shot nowadays, but as you and I both know, a point of view shot is filmed from a person's perspective. So I don't know how you would approach this. Maybe, running the phone on the ground like you're a cat or something, or I have a little clip, a little mount that goes on my chest that I can put my phone on, something like that. And then we would also need a clip, a video that is filmed at night. You are not required to make this clip. You are not required to make this video. You can find it wherever. Be visibly filmed at night. And this is the last one. No quote unquote music. Music is a very broad term, obviously, but what I'm really getting at is no melodies. If you want to use, let's see, like Foley, human voice, sound effects, if you've got a sound effect that's hitting a triangle, I don't have an issue with that. But the idea is that there is no just underscoring music track. I want us to get a little creative with the noise, with the sound that we have.
That's great.
Thank you. Any questions?
Uh yeah, I do have two questions. So
Okay.
one is more of a comment. So I like how this outline is less of, hey, here are four ingredients, but more of like you have some negatives in here, so it's more of like an outline of do's and
Mhm.
don'ts. So I appreciate that. So is your intent here to have like more like is your intent here to have more natural sound and sort of like gritty sound, are you just want to see how we can do without beats of music?
So when I came up with this, it was definitely because I had a kind of a vision of what I was thinking I wanted to
Okay.
do.
Okay.
But really, the reason that I actually put this in here, because I could just make a video without music if I wanted to. The reason that I decided to make this parameter in this prompt was because I felt like it was kind of a good challenge and it kind of fit with the theme of adversity or, um, working working at a disadvantage maybe. This would be a fun handicap for this challenge.
Okay. I really like that. Like as the video series promises, we want to talk a little bit about the tools, techniques, and psychology
Mhm.
of being a video editor. So what can you kind of jump on your soapbox a little bit there with that little subtle comment you made about point of view shot being misused in today's climate?
Yes.
What is LEC seeing on her feed that's got her irritated on that?
Okay, so this is a thing that's been going on TikTok for a hot minute, for like years at this point. It's very, very common that you'll see a video where the text is like POV and then it's like a situation, right? But it's not actually filmed like a POV shot most of the time. It's filmed like this. Like you are watching me, but you are not watching me as a person. I am the situation. You know what I mean?
So you're
It's
yeah, so point of view is like you shouldn't see like if I am revealing a point of view shot, you're not seeing my face because my point of view
mhm.
is the camera like this would be the point of view,
Yeah.
like right?
Yeah, exactly. Like
You'd be literally seeing through my eyes what am I seeing? And it should be
mhm.
and it's a moving normally should be a moving shot. It's not just placing your camera or your tripod on the ground and
Yes.
walking past it for the
Unless the
obligatory
unless
walking
the
shot.
unless the POV is like POV, you're an ant, like
Yeah,
on the ground, in which case that would make sense. But I
right.
so frequently see people misusing that POV term on social media. To, had to get my lick in there.
Can I like write a blog post and do a little
Yeah.
spin-off video about like Matty D and Ailey C rant about
Yes.
POV misuse?
Yes. Yes, for sure. It's so frustrating. And I know I know I'm far from the only person on social media because I see other people actually, I see other people making those posts, but it's still very prevalent.
While we're ranting about like today, well, you're not ranting. I rant,
We both rant.
but while we're on a soapbox about like today's trends that make no friggin' sense, can I just like wax poetic for a second about this stupid trend of like I'm gonna have a tiny ass microphone and
Right.
I'm just gonna hold this tiny ass microphone like it has a clip. There's a clip on this
Right.
microphone, right? The clip should go like here or maybe even like I can even put it here. I can really put it like I can put it right there and it would still pick up clean sound.
I see it all the
But
time.
instead I'm just gonna hold this tiny ass mic that has a clip right to my mouth
Hmm.
and for like why?
I see them.
Don't understand that. And then it's like it's not only like I'm not like film school nerding out about this. It's like for one it has a clip, but like you're the video like people are going to look back at that video in like 2 years and be like, "Oh, that was recorded in like
Hmm.
2025 or 2026." Like there's no way this is not just a fad that's going to go away. Like DJI and Rode are
Hmm.
like the only mics that people are doing this with that I'm seeing. It's pissing me
I
off
see
so much.
I see so many like ads for these cheap like Amazon lav mics. I see so many ads where they're talking to the mic like this. Like that is not that's not a good way to advertise your mic is by no, that makes me so annoyed too. And there's been times where I felt almost compelled to do that because it's like such a big stylistic thing. Right now, I'm like, no, that's stupid. I think it gives you like a worse sound quality in the long run, especially if you're like me, you're someone who gesticulates a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like there are of course there are times you enjoy when like the aesthetic and the and
Mhm.
production like the bar is lowered. Like but like I'd much rather if I'm gonna be doing that, have a mic so I'm the present in my shot. It's gonna be a better mic than the stupid
Right.
$20 mic that like
Right.
I only use in situations where it's like it has to be wireless and I'm doing it run and gun. But anyway, we got 1 minute left, 1 minute
Yes.
left in
Okay.
this Zoom call, so I'll just take a breath and stop myself.
Okay. I will get in our closing thoughts. All right, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for sticking with us and go check out our videos on Matty D Media on YouTube. And if you're watching this video, you're watching it on my channel. So subscribe to me, subscribe to Matt, and keep producing.